Hello and welcome to episode 13, can you believe it, of Inside the Race, the MyWhoosh Racing Podcast, with me, Hayley Simmons, and my co-hosts, Matt Payne and Emma Martin.
Thank you, everybody who has been in touch with us over the course of the MyWhoosh Championship so far. And, in fact, since we started the podcast, it's really great to hear from everybody in the community. And we've got lots of great plans about what we're going to do in the future to involve more people in the community into the podcast. To do that, though, we need your help. We need you. That basically means what we need you to do is to subscribe, to like, to share, to interact with it on social media. This is your homework for the week. I'm putting it out there now. If you help us, we will be able to do that. But we do need your help in doing that, sharing that, get those likes, those watch views, etc. out there. So thank you, everyone who's done it so far. Keep on going. You're doing a great job, but we need more.
Well, today we go inside the MyWhoosh Championships, the final stage in Arabia. It might have been flagged as a flat route with some sprints aplenty and some punchy climbs. It was by no means a straightforward ceremonial progression out there today. Hayley, how was that final stage for you?
You know what? It was quite fun. It was hard at times. There was a lot of concentration. I made myself a load of notes because I wasn't sure exactly how my legs were going to be. But we had a great team spirit and team chat with both the core team and the core powered by Spritz team. So it was just a really nice way to round off the championships. So that was my race, but there were lots of races out there today. So why don't we go inside them?
Well, for the final stage of the MyWhoosh Championships, we have two guests joining us today. But before we get to them, we've got some racing to discuss, and we're going to start with the women's race. It was 49.9 kilometres, the course today, with 350 metres of elevation. And let's start at Category 6 and roll our way through the women's peloton.
Women's Category 6 race was actually the only one of the women's races that didn't end in some sort of group sprint. At the Abu Dhabi sprint, it was Obaid that had a 5-second gap, and then actually by the finish she'd extended that by a further 3 seconds, winning the stage by 8 seconds overall. It was Juliana Agudelo who won the bunch kick. Nina Pierce was 5th on the stage but secured 1st in the GC as well as the sprint classification, while Angia Reyes took the QOM jersey, and the Vegemite Vixens brought it home safely to win the team competition.
Yeah, and I do think we have to say, hello, Obaid. We've seen her do this before in Category 6, so no surprises that she went. She normally does on the climbs. Good to see her do that today. I think that's a good end to her championships today in Category 6.
Yes, brave rider, let away by the bunch because of where she was on GC overall and taking it to the line. In Category 5, it was the tightest of all the women's categories, with only 3 seconds separating the top two after 7 stages of racing and over 10 hours on the bike. In the end, Isabel Alza held on to that golden jersey over Natalia Becerra, despite losing 1 second in the final sprint. Yes, it was so close. US Gierske won the stage, her best result of the championships by far. It was also an incredible sprint battle in Category 5. Amy Loxley took 15 points on the final day, whilst Louisa Schultz only took 11, meaning Loxley secured the sprint jersey and that competition by a margin of 2 points.
Absolutely down to the wire, wasn't it? I thought that was Schultz's sewn up, but this last stage really shut things up. It was really, really all about making the most of that final stage, and that happened in Category 4 as well, because Claudia Hyde made the most of her final day of house arrest, taking the win on stage 7. Martinuska may have been 9 seconds back on the stage, but her advantage going into the stage was large enough that she held on to keep hold of that golden jersey by over a minute in the end. Sprint honours on the day, and sprint overall going to Pekka Kova, who has really shown that is her forte.
I mean, talking of sprints, in the women's Category 3 race, Sarah Carolus really finished her championships in style, and she was the dominant sprinter in category in that Category 3. Not only did she win today's sprint jersey, she also secured the classification overall, and she managed to take the stage win too. Brittany Lytton held on to the golden jersey that she claimed yesterday in the time trial, and Jojo Bao was 20 seconds back. And then Jen Reel, who was the star really of the first 5 stages, she had to settle for third place overall, a further 11 seconds behind Bauer.
That battle went to the wire today, and it was really exciting. In Category 2, 20 riders came to the line together today. And surprise, surprise, Emily Sopers was in the mix, and boom, she did it again. Her 4th stage victory of this race against and ahead of her teammate Sarah Roach, who secured the Masters jersey with that finish. Sarah Roach did take that jersey. Silvia Guerra successfully defended her golden leaders jersey that she had coming into the stage. She finished safely in the bunch, and she also takes home the golden polka dots as well, the climbing competition. Katrin Nielsen took most of the sprint points today, but wasn't in contention for that competition overall. That goes to Anna Russell, and that was a great battle over the first 6 stages. In the end, only 13 seconds separated the top 2 teams. The top 2 teams, it was so close all the way through, with the Watt team just edging out Core.
So close.
Yeah, no, it was. Yeah, obviously part of course, slightly sad, but it was a great battle all week. So, kudos to everyone who raced in Category 2 all week, to be honest. In the women's Category 1 race, Kate McCarthy did hint a few days ago in our interview that actually maybe the Ablock squad would have some fun today and try something a bit different, and they certainly did that. They set up Mika Soderstrom for her first stage win of this championship. Soderstrom also secured the sprint jersey by 4 points over Kelsey Van Shaw. There was no change in the top 3. Kate McCarthy took the win from Gabi Guerra, and Francesca Tomasi took third. In the team classification, it was close. It was really tight, and it changed. There was virtual team changes throughout the day, but in the end, it was the FCC Endorphins who took that competition, consistency paying dividends, as we thought it might when we discussed this earlier in the week. And the Sweat Sensations were a further 26 seconds back, and they were in second place with Ablock International in third. So one of the key members of that Sweat Sensations team and key protagonist of this race all week was Gabi Guerra, and we're delighted that she's going to join us now.
Hello and welcome to Inside the Race, Gabi Guerra. Gabi, it is so fabulous to have you here. Thank you for joining.
Thanks for having me, and thanks for putting on the show.
It's great to have you with us. I just can't believe it's been ages. It seems like 2 minutes ago we were all sat chatting over breakfast in the hotel in Abu Dhabi, and I know for Hayley it's not been as long. Probably.
No. It was less than a year, but it still feels like a while ago.
Yeah, it's just like I couldn't tell you whether it was a year or 2 years or like yesterday.
It's because we see her every single week on the Sunday Race Club. We feel like we know each other really well just by watching the racing.
Totally.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? And of course, I think Gabi has got to be the most prolific person I've ever met on social media and posting as well. I've never met anybody. Even my daughter, who is just like social media queen, is just like nowhere in the same universe. She's got to up against, get even close, I think, on the way through. Yeah, really, really good to have you with us.
Thank you. I have to say, though, I post a lot, but I have a hard time looking at the content, actually.
To be fair, I know the feeling because I don't like listening to my own voice, which is great when you're doing a podcast. But never mind. Matt actually stole my word there. I was going to say, kicking off the questions, I was going to say that you're one of probably our most prolific racers on the Sunday Race Club. Obviously, also with the MyWhoosh Championships, you race every week, which is just incredible, to be honest. You share all of your training over the past weeks and months. Did you feel really prepared and ready to race this year?
Absolutely. This year, I really wanted to, time things well to peak for the championships, but I also wanted to allow myself to build meaning building some muscle, going in the gym, allowing the weight to fluctuate and just build the power and just focus on that training, and just taking in account that there might be just a trade-off for a couple of Sundays where you're not always performing at the absolute peak best, but it was really good. And I always have to remind myself to trust the process and to trust my coach, which is my husband. So trust the husband. And I felt prepared for this time. Yes.
Yeah, I think the way that the training's been building, we've seen you doing that on the way through. Is that the sort of, you trusted in the process? Is it literally down to a day by day, what by what? It must be hard to not overanalyze when you're doing such a volume of training that we're seeing, overanalyze every little session, because there's masses and masses of data. You spend so much time training, truly a full-time professional.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. That's why it's a good thing to have a coach by your side that is experienced, so he or she can guide you through and help you focus on the right things. And depends on the personality of each athlete. In my case, I just want to do it all, and I want to do the work all the time. So like, what's really important, what are the trade-offs, like I said, and also how important is the rest and everything around the training. So I think that over-analyzing, I wouldn't say I do, but you definitely want to just get everything or the best out of each session, and that's the most important.
Yeah, and it's translated. I mean, we've seen that on the Sunday Race Club, and I think the MyWhoosh Championship this year has been absolutely superb. I mean, it's been a pleasure to put words to the action, and I do say that all the time because I absolutely love the job that I have, but and I love the sport. But I have to say that the MyWhoosh Championships for me has been the best so far. Have you enjoyed it along the way, in between racing yourself absolutely to the limit? Is there a level of enjoyment there as well?
Absolutely. I first have to say I agree with you. It's just amazing, and everybody, you can feel it in the riders, you can feel it with you guys, that you have a passion for it, that you truly love what you do, and I think that's so important. And same for me on the bike. I truly love what I do. I like the training, I like the racing. In good or bad days, both, I am learning to even enjoy the downs, not just the ups, not just the easy parts. And I think that's really a privilege that we can have this community of racers. The MyWhoosh Championships is a very special event. And I think that everyone that is involved truly gives everything with passion. And that's super inspiring and nice to see too, and be a part of it, obviously.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about that performance, shall we? Because the climbs and the battles out there over the 7 stages across those 8 days, it has just been superb to watch. It really has. And it's evolved as the days have gone on. Gabi, which day for you was the toughest out there, and why?
I have to be very honest. I have to think about how I'm going to say this, but the first day for me was the most challenging because before the week started, so the Sunday Race Club race before that, I got sick. My husband had a infection a week prior, and then it went over to me exactly well timed for the start of the MyWhoosh Championships. So how do you keep calm and mentally dialed in when your body is truly showing signs of sickness? But there is a rule called above the neck rule, meaning when your symptoms are all above the neck, so cough or sore throat, you can potentially still perform. So I raced really hard on Sunday, and I analyzed how my body would feel after that, and if I should, dive in completely. And turned out that I had a sore throat and I had symptoms, but I could still perform. And so the first day was challenging to get in and see, okay, how will my body respond now? And it was just, it's just uncomfortable, I would say. Not painful, but uncomfortable racing with symptoms. But after that, when I saw, okay, my body can still perform, I'm going to be dialed in, then something in my mind changed and it was I'm all in, I'm committed to this and I am looking forward. So the first day, to answer your question.
Well, no, that's fine, but that really wasn't what I was expecting you to say at all. Do you know, but obviously, you know, as the days have progressed, you've got better and better in terms of the illness going and the sickness going. And you just must have, did you notice that on the bike? Did you notice you shaking it off and then really starting to feel much more like yourself again?
Yes. Like you said, day by day, I was feeling better and better. Symptoms were still there, but every day was just better. And as I was performing, I mean, during the races, you can even see my legs, there's like stuff coming out of my nose and I'm coughing all over the place. But that doesn't really do anything to your legs, right? So yeah, I'm glad that I feel today way better than in the beginning of the week. I can still feel it a little bit, but it got better. Like, I was so surprised and thankful that it actually got better, because sometimes if you push it into sickness, it can get worse. So it got better, obviously. And I'm so happy with like so many personal bests, power numbers. That's like all an athlete can ask for in a whole week. To have that, that's such a gift. And that's my greatest joy, I think. That's such a reward.
Well, I was going to say, actually, like with, you know, bringing the context, bringing the illness kind of into everything. Overall second on GC with so many fabulous performances, and a time gap that was actually closer this year compared to last year. Do you feel that you're closing the gap to the top, and particularly that you managed to do that, having, you know, gone into the championship potentially subpar in terms of your own personal health?
Yes, I would say I'm getting better. Everyone's getting better. And that's the best part, that everybody that is competing, all the women in Cat 1 now specifically, we're pushing each other week in, week out. You guys see that. And we bring out of ourselves the best. And that's what I really love about it, that we can just prove to each other we can do even better and better. And I focus a lot on my own progress and how my training is going and how my power numbers or whatever is evolving. But obviously that translates often in results. Racing is very different from training. So racing can be very chaotic, and there's all kinds of tactics or even team play that can influence that. But for the individual GC, I was closer this year to the top, obviously, and I'm very, very happy with that. Yes.
Yeah. Is that taking the chaos of racing out of it? Why we saw a different tactic on the Sunday Race Club that was supposedly, you know, for Joe Average and for anybody with some kind of sense. I'm going to just call you crazy outright here. You know, you were crazy. You were not, you know, for me, racing the Sunday Race Club is crazy on a rest day anyway. But then you came out with this, you know, this mad tactic that was just like, I think, you know, I think I said at the time, Gabi, really? From the gun, and you did.
Gabi always pulls out mad tactics on the Al Rothba course, though. I'm pretty sure the previous time it was like 27 attacks or something. So Al Rothba's like Gabi's mad course, I think.
Is that what it is? Is it the mad course? Was it just getting rid of having a controlled day by going off in front? And what on earth possessed you to do that on Sunday Race Club on the rest day? Come on, let us into that.
Okay, I kind of knew that you guys are gonna ask about it. So
we couldn't not.
We'd have got so much abuse if we didn't. Come on.
So first of all, I was planning to begin with that I would race through, so that I would not take a rest day like I did last year. I know that because my body just works better like that. That's period. Like, that's for me, it works that way. But I also always say that, I have said that before, for me, every race is a serious race. There is no race where it's like kind of half doing something or maybe. No, I'm going to race committed. When I saw the course, well, a flat course again. So I'm still taking it as serious as every other time. I want to win. And it doesn't matter to me if I'm in the middle of a stage race. This is part of my racing schedule for that week, kind of. So I made a couple of plans, but the first plan was, if you don't want to sprint at the end, you sprint at the beginning. It was really hard to break away, you know, in like an hour being off the front, pushing your threshold power is not necessarily the best, you know, thing to do when you know you have to spend a lot of energy the next 2 days, which will have then the stage 6 and 7. I was obviously very aware of that, but I also was, again, I was getting better with the sickness. I was reading my recovering process pretty well. I was recovering every day pretty well and feeling good every day and recovering fast. So I thought, well, if this is how I can win this race, this is how I'm going to win this race. And today is today. There is no tomorrow.
And that is the phrase, isn't it? And I think, do you think that the volume of training that you do, which is a lot more than a lot of other people are doing, I think, out there, and it's not just because you document so much of it, but you are riding day after day. You do Sunday race club after Sunday race club. That's sort of the point there. Does that then mean that it's not that extra load that it might be on somebody who is used to taking more rest in their program anyway? You know, it's just another day on the bike for you, really.
Yes, definitely. I've been training for that. I put massive base hours in the beginning of the year until pretty much now. So that was also a reward that I could earn from that I can just go day after day. And when I mean massive hours, it was really like 5 hours every day, like base, zone 3 even, and like just pushing and creating a bigger tolerance basically for my body to perform without draining it so much. So yes.
I'm just going to shift the conversation a little bit, Gabi, because one of the things I've really enjoyed this year is the team competitions, because a lot of them have been really, really close. And the Category 1 women was no exception at all where that comes to. So the Sweat Sensations, your team, second on GC, but what a competition this year. You were 26 seconds off of the FCC Endorphins. And the Ablock International team were at 43 seconds off of the Endorphins in third place. Did you think the team competition would be that close this year?
Yes. I was thinking all the teams are super strong. We know each other from racing every week. So we knew that. And obviously our team, Sweat Sensations, was super happy to be leading the first couple days. But we knew it's going to be challenging to take on other teams. And today was just also amazing because we also could have lost a place if we wouldn't have worked very, very hard together to bring the time gap back. And it was like such a TT awesomeness with our coach telling us, now go, now you, and taking pulls and just making it really work. Like we committed as a team to really make it work, to at least hold a position if we cannot gain some time back. And we executed today. So it's such a cool battle when it's closer, you know, when people just don't, when it's like not just dominant, but everybody has to always like do the math and be careful.
Yeah, I mean, yes, isn't it? Matt says the teams needed a calculator in their back pocket whilst racing this year because those competitions was just so tight. And you're right, at one stage there was a 14-second gap, which pretty much would have been the difference between you guys and third place. So, yeah, again, it's great to hear, you know, your DS was on top of it. You know, you were under team orders, you know, you brought it back. Just the racing has just been fabulous. And thank you so much for being part of it and sharing it with us today.
It's such a pleasure. I'm really thankful for you guys for doing all this work. And I think all the riders and the community really appreciate your work. And you have also been working really, really hard for all those hours where we have been racing. You guys are there and committed and with energy from beginning to end. That's amazing. So thank you.
Lots a lot of coffee.
Unlike a lot of the riders, we're going to be out on the bike tomorrow.
Yeah, there's got to be whatever I do, it's going to be coffee. Do you know what? That's going to lead me straight into my cheeky question. Thank you very much, Emma. You didn't know what was coming, but I've got a cheeky question for you, Gabi. So come on, Gabi Guerra, we all know, is the one that we see in the social media. We see you racing, we see you riding. You know, some of us have met you in real life, and a lot of us know the backstory. When you are not on the bike, when you're in a household full of bikes, you're in a household that talks about racing, what do you do that is not bike or sport related? Is there anything out there? Is there any time, you know, we said to you, we're going to wave you a magic wand. You can do anything for a day, but it can't be to do with the bikes, the family, the house. It's your dream day. What would that dream day be?
I was gonna say I would be doing household,
Which is why I put it in, because I know how much work you do as well. So you can't have that in there. This is your dream day. This is not a maintenance working day. You get to do what you want. What would it be?
You know, I have to say I have a really hard time not moving. So sitting for me actually hurts. I would be very much like to move. So walking or hiking is really nice. Horse riding is also a nice activity I really enjoy. I haven't done in years, but I really enjoy playing the instruments and also doing some art. So that's a good contrast for the physical activity when I need to chill out a little bit. I can, you know, relax through art or music, and I really enjoy that. So, and a good meal is also always part, you know, of the enjoyment.
Okay, so basically it's going to be walking to somewhere to grab a horse, grab the horse to go up into the mountains, and then when you get there, find that there's some instruments to play with the band, because Hayley will be there on piano, and we might have to get a band together between all the people who can play instruments and are musically talented, and then go back down for a meal after. It sounds a pretty good day to me, to be fair. Not that I can ride a horse for toffee, but there you go. Or play an instrument, or no, great. Thank you for that little insight. And great answer to a cheeky question.
Yeah, and thanks for entertaining us week in, week out, and again this week.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us on Inside the Race, Gabi Guerra. Second place in the MyWhoosh Championships this year. Fabulous racing. Thanks, Gabi.
Thank you.
Thank you too, guys.
Well, thank you so much to Gabi Guerra for what was just a fabulous chat with her, and a great finish to the MyWhoosh Championships for her. We're going to start focusing on the men's competition now. And let's just a little reminder, today's route for the men, 79.2 kilometres of racing, 428 metres of elevation, 5 sprints along the way. And in a lot of those competitions, the sprint competition was not finished yet. Let's start with category 6, Matt.
Yeah, category 6. You talk about sprinting. What a sprint in category 6. Dylan Kennett secured his 3rd win of the championships, timing his sprint to perfection to overhaul Jonathan Fager and Michael Rademacher. And can I say, we've really enjoyed the posters in the background of the Pain Cave. Today we celebrated cake today with Dylan, but Dylan clearly has a different definition of beefcake to me. That's all I'm going to say. Ola Warren was 4th on the stage, but comfortably secured the sprint jersey overall. And I've got to say congratulations to Santeri Quickstrom. Safely in the bunch today, which was not an easy thing to do at all today in that run to the finish. And he takes home that golden Lisa jersey as our MyWhoosh champion.
In the men's category 5 race, it was actually too close to call. 0.04 seconds was Kendall's winning margin. And honestly, it was a phenomenal sprint. I don't really know how you guys called it. It all came down to timing and execution in the end. It's Pens that takes the overall win, while Joel Warren took 24 out of 25 sprint points today and secured that overall classification.
In category 4, a long-range attack from Restrepo paid off. He just about held the field off. They were accelerating riders behind him to take that win on stage 7. They were coming in so quickly. They really, really were. Aidan Sinclair committed to his sprint jersey aspirations today, only dropping 1 point, and finishing his championships with a 9-point advantage over Francis Pino. Alalusa takes the overall win, and he too was defending that all the way through today. Great racing from him. 14 seconds clear of Aidan Sinclair on GC.
Yeah, I've got to echo your comment there about Pano Alalusa. I think I have been absolutely impressed. I think that is a very cool head on young shoulders. And I think we're going to see a lot more of him in the future for sure. In the closest championship finish, I think, ever, ever.com. I mean, this is brilliant. So Corrales just managed to hold on to the golden jersey by 1 second. Yep, just a single second from Mikel Shakila, who was actually just ahead of him in the sprint for the line. Absolutely brilliant battle. Mason Rocker ended his week after sprinting about against everybody, including himself, I think, with a 72 sprint point in the bank compared to Christopher Morgan's 71. I mean, what a battle on the roads in Category 3. Really have actually shown us how to take the battle, and that continues right the way through Arabia today.
It was a little bit different in the men's category 2 race. Mendakowicz, he launched a long-range attack, and he was allowed to go up the road to take the stage win by 16 seconds because actually the riders that were at the top of the GC were kind of looking at each other a bit and protecting their own individual classification positions. Mr. X100 successfully defended his 2025 MyWhoosh Championship title ahead of Nick Cohen-Malostic, while Vidal Mel secured the sprint jersey, taking 9 points today.
Yep. Well, and sorry, can I just say, I have thought the team competition in this was brilliant today. I'm going to go completely off any kind of time scales. I don't care. It's this competition. Emma called this actually in the competition midway through commentary today. Absolutely fantastic, Emma, to pick this out. The Balbina and the Goat squad trying to go in, but the UAE clan team taking the team win in the end. Ivan Nuki going up the road, trying to go in for points. I thought that for team competitions, maybe this was one of the best.
Well, it surely was a big battle out there today, and there was a significant amount of seconds changed in that team competition today with Mendakowitz's attack, and when the team finally realised it and the groups finally realised it, they got moving. In Category 1, if we thought sprinting was the order of the day, trust Jason Osborne to just tear up the script and give us a final stage show. And it was some fabulous teamwork from Osborne and Pucker. They went away together before Osborne did what he does best, and he soloed to the victory for 7 from 7. Absolutely perfect score for Jason Osborne, the world champion. The question is it a championship record? And I think it is. I don't think anybody has ever done 7 from 7 before. You can pull the frown, Matt, but I've had a look at it, and I can tell you we've had 6 from 7. Kate McCarthy, 6 from 7 last year, but not 7 from 7. And Jason Osborne has indeed just put that record on his belt. Ruben Dont kicked clear from the rest of the bunch to come home in 2nd place, but it wasn't quite enough to move him up on the GC podium. He finished in 4th overall, 1 second behind Stefan Van Elst in 3rd. Ollie Jones was the Kiwi jam between Osborne and Van Elst and secured 2nd overall. The final bosses won the team competition, but Jones brought home the Alpha Jaw Space Cowboys, and they finished 2nd in that classification. And the main man, Ollie Jones, joins us now.
So we are thrilled to have one of the stars of the men's Category 1 race this week join us now. Welcome to Ollie Jones.
Well, thanks, Haley. Thanks for having me.
Welcome, mate. It's good to see you, buddy.
And I have to start. I'm sorry. I have to make an apology to Ollie, though Ollie's going to tell me off for my mispronunciation, though I'm not sure I'm happy being told how to pronounce English by a Kiwi, but I'll go with it.
I'm assuming this is off the team name the other day when Lionel was in.
Yes. Yeah. So Ollie needs to tell me off for that.
Yeah. It's alpha jaw, not alpha whore.
I was being Spanish and then said I didn't know why because there were no Spaniards on the team. But yeah,
where did
apologies.
that come from? Where did that come from, Hayley? I mean, honestly,
I don't know. I can't even say that I was really tired by that point because it was like day one or something. But never mind. I do apologise.
So do we need to now add some team names that now get pronounced in Spanish to the Pogacar pronunciation in Slovenian as well? Where there's a bit of a trend going on here. Hayley,
yeah, I'm not doing well, am I? I'm
no,
not doing well
great,
at all.
worry.
Never mind.
If I had a euro for every time somebody had corrected me on commentary about names I've mispronounced, I would not need to commentate anymore anyway. So it would be it happens to all of us. Ollie, it's great to have you here with us, and thank you for joining us at the end of the MyWhoosh Championship. I mean, you get the tough gig really at the end here, doing the questions on the end of everybody. I'm going to rewind though right the way back to coming into this championship. So a bit of rewind for everybody here. In my mind, and I think in a lot of people's minds, you were the pick for second place, given your history with MyWhoosh Championships, given that we got Jason on board. That was definitely my thoughts. I think it was a lot of people's. Was that where you were thinking you were going to be? Is that what was in your head? Did you have expectation like that?
Yeah, I obviously keep a track of my record on SRC, and I had been coming into a lot of form, and had been having a lot of podiums in a row, and I think if I came away without second place, I think I would have been disappointed from MyWhoosh Championships, but obviously it's completely different kettle of fish to SRC, just racing for a whole week, and the intensity of the racing's quite different as well. Like SRC is very much full gas. There's nothing to lose. There's nothing to think about. There's nothing to play for the next day. Whereas the MyWhoosh Championships, the Sages, were a lot more passive for the most part, but then like with a couple of key points in them. And I think it usually suits me a little bit better, the like SRC style of racing, which is just kind of full gas and then everyone's just broken at the end. I mean, obviously very happy to come away from the GC with second. It would have been a little bit hopeful, I think, to have been taking on Jason, but I'm actually pretty happy with how close I got to him over the course of the week. So yeah, I'm very happy all around.
It was really close out there, and in the end it ended up as a 1:53, so 1 minute 53 seconds on GC, but you held him sub 1 minute for a very, very long time. I'm just going to stick an extra little question in here. I'm just giving my co-host a little heads up. Is that closer than you thought it would be, or did you think you could push him closer?
Yes, I mean, there's definitely closer than what I thought it would be. There's SRC races where he puts that into us in one single day. So to have basically the same sort of result, but over the course of 7 stages is, it's less than what I thought it was going to be. Especially when you consider, it was a tactical last stage today. I think when Jason got away, I was happy with it because it kind of took the possibility of, I wasn't feeling good. Like I'm at the end of the week, I'm pretty cracked. I've been getting about 3 or 4 hours sleep every day. I've got a young baby who's pretty sick. It's all starting to rack up at this point, and I just really didn't want to run the risk of going into those Bahrain climbs and coming out the other side, and Jason, Stefan, and Ruben being together, and me being on the wrong side of that. So I was pretty happy to have Jason leave that equation and just take care of Stefan and Ruben by myself, and with the help of my teammates. Mostly Leo, who was in charge of doing that today. And yeah, I think it's just a kind of tactical last sort of day on GC there.
And that team have been really consistent, haven't they, around you? I know when we had Leo here earlier on, he said, Ollie is doing Ollie's thing and the rest of us. The bunching from the rest of you, that crew, you're so tight on GC as well. It's been a fabulous week for you.
Yeah, I think the main thing about our team is, I mean, we're great friends. We've been together for I don't know, like almost as long as the sport's been alive, really. And we've been stuck together the whole time. We really trust each other. We're really great friends off the bike. Our group chat's going on the whole week. You know, it's consistent. And I think in a space like this, it's really nice to have some consistency like that and have some people that you know you can definitely trust. And yeah, I mean, they're great people, and I'm really glad that we got over the line with a really great teams result too, and everyone got through, and we had no real big issues this year, and yeah, really proud of the guys.
How have you found the championships this year in comparison to last year?
Yeah, a little bit different. Obviously, got a baby this year, so it's one thing that we've had to deal with, and my wife has been racing in Cat 6 as well. Whereas last year she was very pregnant, and that was another thing to worry about. So, I think as a whole, I think they've been pretty similar. Yeah. I definitely went through a bit of a pattern both times of feeling good at the start, getting a bit worse, feeling better, and then getting worse again by the end. And then last year I definitely got sick afterwards. So I'm hoping I'll avoid that this year.
You mentioned in one of your previous answers about, today, kind of you being glad that Jason had got away, and then you didn't want him to get away with like Ruben and Stefan, for example, over those Bahrain hills. Do you think the level of competition has actually gone up this year? Because to us, it looks like it's been very, very strong within Category 1, and maybe some people who we wouldn't necessarily have expected to excel in some areas really have done, and it just looks like everyone's kind of raised their game.
Yeah, the power creep's definitely there. I think definitely comes with the fact that we're racing full gas to that standard every week. You know, it's kind of the most consistent form of training you can have for this, is to just race every week. And I think just that is kind of raising the bar and raising the level of everyone around, really. And I think it's pretty normal and pretty natural that, yeah, we are getting better and better every year. Of course, knowing what we need to do as well is getting better. I think there's a lot of sports science and everything out there, very much centered around road cycling. And it's a different sport. It's a different time frame. It's a different set of inertia and everything, torque requirement on the trainer. It's all different. And I mean, we're still learning what the best way to tackle all these things is. And you see all these people that are really excelling with like low cadence out of the chair. Doesn't really work for me. I'm a lot more natural and sit in the seat and a bit more traditional. But yeah, I mean, all these different ideas are gonna keep flowing through in the next probably 10 years of the sport, and it's just going to get better and better as people figure it out more.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things, isn't it? We see the phrase I tend to use, and I'm lucky to work across a number of disciplines, it's emergent discipline issues. And as an emergent discipline, it's still finding its way. It's finding what format. It's finding how the training, the science, how all that goes together. And I think we see that in lots of ways across competition as well. We've seen in different formats of things like the championships. And you saying, oh yeah, I really like the Sunday Race Club format because it's one day you empty the tank, and yet here you are excelling year after year in a stage race, which is 7 days long. And in the middle of that somewhere, randomly, we seem to have evolved to this sort of mini one-day stage race format for the World Championships as well. Given that you like either end of the spectrum, you like one end of the spectrum and excel at the other end of the spectrum, where does that World Championship format then fall in that? Because it seems I think there's still some room for that to grow and to change.
Yeah, I definitely think it's as a nice term, a bit of a work in progress. I think everyone's takes ideas from the previous year, and hopefully we'll build on it each subsequent year. I currently don't think it's so good for me because I think I really excel when it's really hard. So, the fact that there's breaks between the stages, I'm not personally a big fan of, but it's something that I'm going to have to sort myself out on and try to have a better year this year, because I think my results have been a little bit disappointing in the last couple of years. But it's definitely something I want to work on this year. And I saw we had a announcement from the UCI yesterday as well about some dates coming forward, and puts a line in the sand for when we got to get that sorted for. So yeah, be excited to see what they have in store for us and see what sort of courses we have this year, and see how the formats evolved from the last year as well.
And I think that's, for me, that's where sort of it is that we've just finished the championships. You know, you've got the interview on the end of the championships, kind of, and we are already, you know, we all keen to look forward without too much speed, because we've just finished the championship. So if you could, I'll ask the question now, and this isn't my cheeky question, but it's kind of an evolution. If it was you then choosing the format of the World Championships, would you just make it as hard as possible? If somebody said, here you are in charge, you have a magic wand, it's your year to decide what it is. You know, and we were rotating it around the riders. What would it actually be then? You know, how would you make it? Would it just be like, let's give you the yellow feet followed by something else?
Which, to be fair, I would say that would be my worst nightmare. But then I did win on Belgium. But I did win on Belgium a few weeks ago, so maybe I need to take that back. I don't know.
Yeah,
just so long as it's not a TT on Montreal, it's. Yeah.
Yeah, fair to be fair. One thing that I've really loved this championships is seeing like the great team cohesion that you've already spoken about, and that Lionel spoke about as well when we spoke to him, and you guys kind of genuinely seeming to just have fun together. The other thing that I've enjoyed is some of Dylan Kennett's posters, and we did pick up on the fact that you were a poster boy on Dylan's wall.
Yeah. There were a few of those going on. I had nothing to do with them at all.
You didn't post for them then? It's not you?
No, I think I think he might have had a snitch from somewhere else in my family that may have sent him the content. Yeah.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I have to say, one of the other real joys for me on this MyWhoosh Championships has been the conversation and the community, not just within the categories, Ollie, but across the categories as well. And it really does make it makes it great fun as well as great racing.
Yeah. I've been watching everything really. Like, I watched my wife race in the Cat 6, and I've been helping DS their team, and it's been really great fun. Been lovely. I mean, they're hard as nails, you know, they're out there competing for, you know, just as long or longer, you know, and they're just suffering just as hard as we are. So, I mean, it's just, everyone's going as hard as they can. And then I'm coming inside from the garage, and then I'm watching the stream for the rest of the categories all the way up. I've got friends in pretty much every grade, and all the way up until Kate smashing them in the Cat 1, you know, and then getting ready for my own race, and then going back and debriefing with all my friends who are in the other categories as well. It's been really great. Like, everyone's got a story from the race, you know, it's not just one story, it's 12 races going on out there every day. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Well, all I can say is thank you from us for absolutely smashing it out there over the 8-day stage race, 7 stages of racing, that one rest day. It has been absolutely fabulous watching you out there, Ollie, and your team. But congratulations on that second place. It really is fabulous. You've been, the Sunday Race Club, the last 6 weeks, it's been Jason number 1, Ollie Jones number 2, and you've done it over the 7-day stage race as well. Congratulations on the consistency. The form is fabulous. We really look forward to watching you race in the future as well.
Thanks very much, Emma. Thank you.
Yeah, good luck, buddy, and enjoy some recovery time. I'm going to throw in a very quick cheeky question, though. I do have it on good information, because in amongst the MyWhoosh team are a number of people who are into their gaming and all sorts of weird and wonderful things. Now, I have it on good information that this is that being on the MyWhoosh Championships put a dent into your Pokemon stuff. I'm going to use the word stuff because I have no idea what Pokemon is other than see these random things. Is that
Pokemon Go Fest was last weekend, and I couldn't walk 20 k's a day because I had to get off my legs.
Oh, okay. Okay, that means something to everyone out there, I'm sure, other than me.
Phil Graves will know what I'm talking about.
Okay, I see. Okay, I'm loving the exclusive here. So exclusively, Phil Graves is also into. Is that why he's a triathlete, and so he has to run to go collect as many as he can, rather than just actually riding the bike as well? He's just training for doing Pokemon, maybe. Okay, that's my cheeky question done. Thank you very much for joining us, Ollie. I think it's time to let you get some recovery done, get back to the family, get back to doing whatever you want to do, whether that's Pokemon or not. Thank you so much for joining us here on Inside the Race.
No, thanks so much. Thanks for having me.
Oh, what a great interview with Ollie. I mean, what an absolute star. Brilliant rider, brilliant guesting interview. I think he's juggling being a brilliant dad as well. It's just fantastic. And I think I've got to say a big thank you to all of our guests, not just to our guest today, Gabi Guerra and Ollie Jones, but an absolutely dream lineup that we've had throughout all of the MyWhoosh Championship so far. And we've got more great guests. We're going to be talking to so many people in our wrap-up show. So do make sure that you are ready for that you make sure that you're going to be there, because we have got some great plans. Hopefully it'll all come to fruition. I've got my fingers crossed, but let's see. But there's definitely more to come. Big thank you to all of our guests. Today saw the end of the championships. It's seen the end of the 2026 MyWhoosh Championships. And for me, it has been the event of the year. Absolutely stunning. We will be bringing you more details in our wrap-up show, so make sure you are ready for that on a day which has seen the end of the championships. We have seen some amazing champions crowned.
Well, we have indeed. It was the last stand today. And the question is there anybody left standing? That's what I want to know. Well, you can follow at MyWhoosh and at MyWhoosh Info. You can download the app and come and join us racing on MyWhoosh. We would absolutely love to have you join us, whether that is the Cycling Esports League on a Tuesday or the Sunday Race Club or anything in between. Come and join us. You can subscribe to the podcast Inside the Race at MyWhoosh Racing on YouTube, Spotify or Apple Podcast. You can follow us on social media at MyWhoosh Racing. Give us a thumbs up if you'd enjoyed it. Leave us a comment, give us a chat, share it with your friends. Support us by telling your friends and watching the show and just thoroughly enjoying it. If you want to know what's coming up next, you need to subscribe. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, subscribe to the podcast, because, we are going to transition out of the MyWhoosh Championships, and there's some exciting things coming up in the future. You need to get notified.
Well, I can hardly believe it, but the MyWhoosh Championships are over. It's maybe the case that riders, commentators and everyone behind the scenes need a bit of a rest. But there's actually definitely part of me that's going to miss racing action tomorrow. Can I say that already, or is it too soon? I'm not sure.
No, not too soon. Not too soon, definitely.
But fear not. The racing continues. We've got Sunday Race Club coming up this coming Sunday. And then before you know it, we're going to be heading into July finals on a course that I'm pretty excited about. And we're going to be bringing you a championship wrap up as soon as we can. But we'll also be going into our regular show. That format will feature all of the racing on MyWhoosh and bring you more special guests, and as Matt and Emma have already said. So we've loved bringing you all of the action for this entire week, and we really hope that you've enjoyed watching the racing as much as we have. But until next time,
Goodbye.
Goodbye.